us Dr. Rina Puradkar madam. She is from Ramnarayan Jhunjhunwala Autonomous College, Mumbai. Well, we had Rina madam talking to all of us in this family on female Varkari saints on environmental issues. Earlier we had her
Yes.
listen to her talk. Well, she's again with us on Varkari saints, but on a different issue today. I feel I have not checked what. Sorry for this. I have not checked. It's on social inclusiveness in Varkari mysticism. So she is working on the Varkari mysticism, Varkari saints, especially female saints. So hopefully we'll be enjoying this webinar because most of us are not aware of what is this Varkari mysticism is all about. Well, she will be informing a lot of things about the mysticism and the social inclusiveness contained in this mysticism. So, without wasting much time, we had a very good talk by Dr. Rina Puradkar madam earlier, and there was a good interaction too earlier. And I also hope that a very good talk will be there from Dr. Rina madam, and followed by a very good discussion. And this will helping us, all of us, a lot. With these words, I welcome all the senior professors, including Ranjit Ghosh sir, Srinivasan sir, and also our admin, Professor Pramod Kumar Das. So, with these words, let us move to Dr. Rina madam, because of this weather, people are not joining. Maybe network issues and all that. Okay. Anyway, let us continue. Let us start. Okay. With these words, let us
Thank you,
move
sir.
to Rina madam for her talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pramod Kumar Das, sir, because giving me an opportunity to put my thoughts in front of the intellectual gathering. Thank you, Om Narayan, sir, for a nice introduction. Ranjit, sir, Srinivas, sir, and Lata, madam, I really seek your blessings on this note. I will start my topic. Is it visible, sir?
Visible, madam.
Okay, thank you, sir. So my topic, as sir stated, the social inclusiveness of Varkari mystics. Uh, there are so many mystics as we see right now. Its pictures are there. There's Sant Sheikh Muhammad, Sant Tukaram, Sant Jnaneshwar, Sant Janabai, Sant Janabai, Sant Chokhamela, Sant Kanupatra, and Sant Soirabai. So few I'm trying to include because there are so many Varkari saints. But next I will see to it what first and foremost we need to know what exactly social inclusiveness is. Inclusion can be understood as a process which tries to involve the different values the people have and the different groups are having it out, so we need to include them into it. So these differences is nothing but the diversity of the people we are having around us. The diversity might be culture, the diversity might be the religion, the diversity might be the class, it can be a gender, which empowers individual to enable them to contribute and participate in such diverse group, because it is nothing but an ability of the community to include all kind of such members and avoid excluding a single member of it, because it means the integration of all members of diverse group. So this quality states that there is a fair equality. This states that there will be the equal treatment will be given. Everyone will be respected irrespective of their caste, gender, their religion. So this social inclusion is nothing but a process of improving the terms on which individuals and group take part in the society for improving the ability, opportunity, uh, and dignity of those disadvantaged or the marginalized groups on the basis of their identity. It means we all are together. When we say that we all are together, means we also need to accept their practices, the way they are practicing it out. It means not a single person will not be excluded. It is a acceptance of everyone, making us play space for them. Because this space is very important, because this space will be given despite their inequalities. So there will be no social exclusion, there will be social inclusion. So the goal of this social integration is to create more and more safe and just society for all, where we speak about the social justice will be given to them, and where everyone will be enjoying their rights, their responsibilities. So such inclusive society should be based and will be real, you can say that, the epitome of any democratic country. And we want such inclusive society where everyone will be participating into it, despite of whatever class, caste, gender they are having it out. So this inclusion is nothing but adopting this multicultural society. You're just seeing this one picture here on your right side. It shows that yes, this is a Varkari. They are going to the Pandharpur for the Wari. So where all people belonging to different caste, gender, as well as you can say that people from the abroad, they are joining it out, and the people belonging to different religions. This means that here total inclusive community is there. Here no one is imposing no one's opinion on others. They are respecting others' opinion. They are respecting others' identity as the way they are. It means accepting the way they are. So this is our responsibility in the social inclusiveness, to constantly have a dialogue between these communities and accepting them, not rejecting them. So India being a secular country, we can say we have embraced many religions of the globe. There are different castes, there are genders, and further they are classified into several sects and the cults. So religion in India is distinguished by the wide range of religious belief, faith, and practices. There are various castes. We are divided into the genders, whether it is a male, female, or transgenders. So it indicates that there is a diversity. So now we can say that India being a country of the saints, we have we had the Bhakti tradition, where the Sufi saint Kabir, Dadu, Sant Jnaneshwar, Varkari saint, Sant Tukaram, Sant Namdev, Sant Sheikh Muhammad, Sant Soirabai, Sant Mahinabai, Sant Chokha Mela, Sant Gora Kumbar, Sant Savta Mali, Narsi Mehta, all these saints, inclusive of the Sufi saint Nijamuddin Aulia, Muinuddin Chasti, Haji Malang became a part of this great Indian cultural ethos. They practiced and preached the path of bhakti, which is of all inclusive. They embraced the people belonging to different caste, religion, and gender. Maharashtra, being the center of the confluence and the convergence of the multicultural, had a tradition of the great Varkari Sampradaya. The Pandharpur Wari is something different and beyond regular ritual codes. In fact, there are no ritual codes, you can say that. The Varkari culture is very different from any patriarchy, any casteism, any hierarchical rituals, or any customs, any aristocratic religious sects in India. They tried to create a social order which was inclusive of all and not exclusive, which was based on the rationality, equality, liberty, and fraternity that leads to harmony and peace, which can prevail in society. The devotees arrive from about all parts of Maharashtra. They come from northern Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, as well as all over the world, which brings together the essence of Varkali culture to the holy place of Pandharpur, the refuge of Lord Vittala, where all are together, no one is left apart. A noted Marathi literature, Durga Bhagwat said in one of her book, I quote, somewhere there exists some inner link between Pandari, that is Lord Vittala, and every Maharashtrian. But I go beyond that and say that whoever is bhakta of that Lord Vittala, there is an inner connected link is there. The kind of inner attachment one has for one family and ancestor, one feels for the Pandharpur. We are together. This is an attempt to democratize religion, and such values are needed in today's world of differences, which are based on the caste, religion, race, and gender. So, the social inclusiveness here refers to peaceful coexistence and interconnection between the different religious traditions, caste, and that exist within the same cultural space, that is Varkari Sampradaya. You can see the pictures. This is a beautiful picture of Dive Ghat, where people are, the Varkaris are proceeding to Pandharpur. Yes, Varkari Sampradaya is an ocean of moral and spiritual values because the philosophy of Varkari saint is the bedrock on which the lofty and noble temple of the Bhakti cult is erected in Maharashtra. Their teaching led to the growth of the unity and harmony among the masses. The humanitarian idea of Varkari had a great impact on the masses of Maharashtra. They believe in social equality, preached the universal brotherhood, and propagated religious acceptance. All Varkari saints propagated the idea of true knowledge of the divine can be achieved only through the selfless devotion. Varkaris, the Bhakti saint poets who preach the masses in a simple language through their abhangas. What is the real life? What should be the ideal life? What is universal brotherhood? What is acceptance of otherness of others through their abhangas? And that too, abhangas are not so difficult, anyone can understand. These Varkari saints highly influenced the lives of the common man and brought a great change in their social, religious, and cultural life. We can look at some of the basic tenets of this movement, which has universal significance and also contemporary relevance for universal brotherhood. The Varkari saints of this Bhakti Sampradaya were staunch supporter of the soul unity and purity of mind and the pure character of the soul. The ethical teaching of Varkari saint is in consonance with the philosophical teaching. Varkari do not teach the treatise of renunciation, rather, they emphasize not to give up the duties but to do them with the spirit of worship. So, whatever work you are doing it out, do with the worship. If you are a farmer, do as a worship, where we come across in Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Every act should be performed in the spirit of prayer. The world is neither something dreadful, nor it is the object of mere sensual enjoyment. Every object has the tinge of this divinity in it. This bhakti cult discarded rituals and sacrifices as a mode of worship given by so-called Brahmin communities. Instead of they gave emphasis on the purity of heart, mind, and humanism and devotion as a simple way to realize God, through which they rejected where they rejected priestly domination as well as rituals based on the social strata. The ideal man of Varkari saint is one whose heart overflows with the divine love at the sight of any living and non living form in the world. Here I quote Sant Dhaneshwar. He says that जे जे भेटे भूत ते ते मानिजे भगवंत हा भक्ती योगु निश्चित जाण माझा. Whoever come across to you, whichever living form, it is not only humans, even though the animals that you or plant, it should be considered as God only, and that is real bhakti. It is only acceptance, no distraction. Varkari sent bridge and wrote the Abhangas, as I earlier said, in the simple language that is a local language of masses, that is Marathi. It was not the language of the elites. Naneshwara wrote the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, that is Naneshwari in Marathi, and it gave the universal message of peace and harmony to the people. Tukaram, he was by profession a trader. He wrote the Abhangas in Marathi, Tukaram Gatha. Namdev was a tailor. He also wrote the Abhangas in Marathi. So we come across that there are Varkaris, saints, those who are belonging to the different strata of the society, but still their Abhangas till date we consider are the best practice which what they have done, and we are accepting as the philosophy, which is nothing but the philosophy of inclusion. All the saints, including Saint Naneshwara, earnestly felt that every person in the society, maybe belonging to the lower caste, should get an opportunity for developing their soul spirituality. The gates of Bhakti school were open to whoever enters it in honestly. And this has been considered as and honored as a saint. So all separatism tendencies are vanishing here. All are one. For 5 successive centuries, Maharashtra was considered as the abode of this noblest and the trust of all democracies, which we never found actually the democracies, but we come across it is there. The Bhakti movement of Maharashtra is the movement of social inclusiveness, as I'm emphasizing is constantly, where Tukaram says that when he questions regarding the Ishvara and criticizes the revolt against the orthodox ritualism, he at one place he says that आम्ही जातीचे ब्राह्मण आमचे सोयरे मुसलमान. Maybe by birth we are Brahmin, but our relatives are Muslims. This shows that Sant Tukaram was also consisting of and emphasizing the oneness, the unity of different religions. Sheikh Muhammad, he is a Muslim Varkari saint. Sheikh Muhammad was born and lived his life in Srigonda at Ahmednagar district in Maharashtra. His guru was the Hindu Vaishnav saint Chang Bodle, who was also the guru of Janardhan Swami, the guru of Santa Eknath. Lord Vithala is his patron deity. Sheikh Muhammad is considered the most well-known Varkari Muslim poet. He is the author of Yoga Samgrama, the Pavana Vijaya, the Nishkalanka Prabodha, and Janasagara. In addition to many songs and abhangas, his writing shows the influence of both Hindu Bhakti and Muslim Sufi tradition. And he was a follower of the Advaita Vedanta school of Hindu philosophy. His writings reveal his knowledge of the tenets of the Bhakti tradition. The Sangrama contains an account of the originating legend of Vitoba and his devotee Pundalika, based on the Hindu scriptures Skanda Purana. Sheikh Muhammad also wrote Abhangas in praise of Vitoba. The legacy of Nirguna tradition is found in Sheikh Muhammad. He is believed to be an incarnation of his northern contemporary Sufi saint Sant Kabir. Kabir was a Muslim saint poet whose patron deity was Ram, a form of Vishnu, while Sheikh Muhammad was a devotee of another form of Vishnu, that is Lord Vithala. Marathi folklore directly associate him with the most popular Varkari saints Jnanadeva, Namadeva, Eknath, Tukaram, in saying ज्ञानाचा एका, नामयाचा तुका व कबीराचा सेखा. Many scholars consider him as an exemplary syncretism of Hinduism and Islam. Sheikh Muhammad has criticized Muslim rulers for destroying the Hindu temples as follows. Anivar Pandari Avinash Shrihari Vahina Antari Vyapuni Alitta Murti Lapavilya Avindi Fodilya Manati Daina Zalya Pandaricha अढळ न ढळे ब्रह्मादिका न कळे म्हणती आंधळे देव फोडिले चराचरी अविट गुप्तना प्रकट ओळखावा निकट ज्ञानचक्षे हरिजितना मे आले नाते गेले. He criticized when the Muslim rulers have destroyed the Hindu temples. You can just see this is a Sant Sheikh Muhammad Maharaj Mandir, which is located at Ahmednagar, Srigonda. His socio-religious awareness is evident in one of his poems where he dedicated to Vithoba, where he says that ऐसे केले या गोपाळे नाही सोवळे ओवळे काटे केतकीच्या झाडा आत जन्मला केवळा फणसांगी काटे आत अमृताचे साठे नारळ वरुता कठीण परी अंतरी जीवन शेख मोहम्मद अविंद त्याचे हृदय गोविंद. Even though Sheikh Muhammad is a Muslim, his heart is flowing with Govinda. There is a deity that Govinda, that is Vithala, is there. So through the grace of this Govinda or Krishna, you can transgress all notions of purity and impurity. The way jackfruit is thorny and skinny outside, but it is so sweet inside, it is like that, he says that. So just imagine how he is working on this Varkari, and he is so imbibed into the Varkari sense. Sheikh Muhammad taught that spiritual knowledge was beyond caste, creed, or religion. He also criticized ritualistic religion and cruel social practices. He was respected both by Hindus and Muslims. And he had Hindu disciples from various classes, including Dayaldas, Devang, a weaver in Kannada, and Raghunath Yogi, who have written about him. Samartha Ramdas, an activist saint, composed a verse about him, that is Sheikh Muhammad. Sheikh Muhammad wrote mainly in Marathi, and his samadhi is known as a mandir. Sometimes people call dargah, but when devotees gather around it, then it is a gathering of spiritualized devotees who are beyond any religion or sect. Since the Wari which goes from Ahmednagar, it was not taking place in between so many years. It has due to some problems. But last 7 years, the Palki or Dindi of Sant Sheikh Muhammad Maharaj goes from Srigonda to Pandharpur during Ashadi Wari or Ashadi Ekadashi, which is called as Devshani Ekadashi also, and Kartik Ekadashi. You can see the picture that Sant Shri Muhammad Maharaj Dindi se Pandharpur kare prastha, that it is going towards the Pandharpur, and so people belonging to all caste, community, and religion are the part of it. Another Muslim Varkari saint, Shah Muntoji. He also belongs to the tradition of Qadri Sufism. He was known as the Mrityunjay Swami. Shah Muntoji got the initiation of the bhakti at the feet of Lord Vittala in Pandharpur itself. He narrates his experience of Pandharpur as बीजे भाजनी लाया करणे तैसे अम्मा येणे जाणे आकारासी नाही थाव देही प्रत्यक्ष दिसे देव. He says that the way you roast the seeds and then it pop-ups to be the popcorn, the makai ka seeds, we can say that and then we get the form of that popcorn. Similarly, there is no form of the God, but those who are a devotee, they can able to see that saguna auspicious form of God. He further described Vittala as Amusa Khuda to Jagan Nivasa Pandhari Nagari Nivase. My Khuda, my Allah is Lord Vittala, who is residing in Pandharpur. He wrote spiritual books named Swarupa Sambandhanam, Prakasha Deepa, Tita Bodha, Panjikaran. In Panjikaran, he wrote शहा मुतबजी ब्रह्मणी जिनमें नहीं मनमानी मनामनी पंजीकरण का खोज किए हिंदू मुस्लिम ये एक कर दिए. So there is no differences between the Hindu and Muslims. We are together, we are one, and I'm emphasizing this in my book, Panjikaran. Another saint belonging to Varkari Sampradaya, belonging to the marginalized section, Santa Chokhamela. He was a Mahar by birth, a saint philosopher of an inclusive tradition. Santa Chokhamela experienced the bitter exclusion of caste, yet persist in his questioning spirituality, adding to the rich variety in his centuries old tradition. The Varkari devotional movement of Maharashtra. He was initiated into Bhakti cult by the saint poet Namdev. He was moved by Namdev's teaching and became a disciple of the great saint philosopher. His devotion to Lord Vittala became the goal in his life. Sant Tukaram paid a tribute to Chokhamela in one of his Abhanga, which says, "You are a tome of ideologies. Innumerable are the wicked that you have taken to task." Even though he was uneducated and belonging to the lower caste, he started composing abhangas on Lord Vittala and also was about his and he was expressing this in his abhangas. धावघाली विठू आता चालू नको मंद बडवे मज मारिती ऐसा काहीतरी अपराध जोहार मायबाप जोहार. This is a salutation done by the lower caste community to the upper caste community. तुमच्या महाराचा मी महार बहुमुखेला झालो तुमच्या उष्ट्यासाठी आलो. उष्ट is nothing but your what you have already eaten you are giving to me. अमुची केली ही नयाती तुझ का न कळे श्रीपती जन्मे गेला उष्टे खाता. That we are surviving on those who are thrown out the food, we are eating on that, we are surviving on that. लाजने तुमची चित्त उसा डोंगा परी रस नाही डोंगा काय भुललासी वरलिया रंगा चोखा डोंगा परी भाव नहीं डोंगा. We know that he says that Lord Vittala, you come and save us. You have to save me. What kind of crime we have committed that Brahmins are beating us, that they are not allowing us into the mainstream. Whenever we try to enter into the temple, they don't allow us. What kind of crime we have done? Don't you ashamed this kind of activities these people are doing to us? Whole life we are suffering. Now it is your duty, you have to save us. He says that he also, that is a sugar cane. Sugar cane from outside, it is very tough, but it has a real juice into it. But there are people, those who get involved and get attracted from the outside thing. But my bhakti, my devotion is not at all anything which is unreal. It is real. The essence of bhakti is real. There is a bhava is there. There is even a popular folklore in Marathi that when his wife was pregnant, it was the Lord Vittala himself who come to her in the guise of her sister-in-law and look after her and became her midwife during her delivery. Santa Chokhamela showed to the masses the path towards spirituality using the Bhakti Marga devotional path through his Avanga. Santa Chokhamela was always connected about the progress of his neglected and downtrodden people. He attempted social reform through the medium of devotional path through his composition and asserted the need to grant equal rights to all in the society, reduce the disparity among the people, and eliminate the struggle between the different classes. There is one story goes that when he died, uh, Lord Vittala said to Santa Namdev, who was his guru, that bring his bones and bury in front of me in my temple, because he was not allowed to enter into the temple. Until date, before you enter into the temple of Lord Vittala, you have to enter his temple first. Sokhamaya. His Avangas has a marginalized perspective that is never found in literary works written by Brahmins of his time, nor in Brahmanical narratives. He writes in his one of Asabanga 283, he pulled a wall for, he means here Lord Vittala, pulled a wall for Jnaneshwara, made Changdeva famous, weeded the beds for Savta, the gardener, and fired the pots for Gora. He loves more than his own self the goldsmith, the cobbler, and Namdev, the tailor. He grinds the grain at Jani's home, sweeps the dirt, and brings the cow dung in, says Choka. He is so tender. His devotees knows him as a fond mother. That is Mauli. Now we are turning to the female Varkari sense, where Mauli is so important. Here, Lord Vittala himself is called as Mauli. And then Sant Naneshwari is also called as a Mauli. So you can say that the place which has been offered to the female in Varkari Sampradaya is so high. The writings of Varkari of the Varkari Sampradaya is you can say that female Varkaris is a mirror of their life. Whatever they are writing in their Avangas, that they are experiencing it out. These women fought against the contemporary society to establish their own existence. They really fought through their Avangas. In the Middle Ages, the clutches of this caste system were so strong that these women freed themselves from the clutches of this. Santa Muktabai, who was the younger sister of Naneshwara, she wrote Tati Se Abhanga. Tati means a hut. One day happened that some people were use abusive language, scorn to Sant Naneshwar, and he locked himself into that hut. So here, Santa Muktabai, rather than emotionally blackmailing him, she gave the spiritual advice to the Naneshwara that if you are a saint, then how you need to behave in this world. So, being a younger sister, she had given the spiritual knowledge to the elder brother. So, this explains what is the status of the Varkari women sent into the Varkari Sampradaya. She even showed the right path to Sant Namdeva by saying that your pot, that is your mind or your brain is empty. Next comes the Santa Soirabai, Santa Nirmalabai. Santa Soirabai was a wife of Santa Sokhamaya, and Santa Nirmala Bai was a sister of Santa Sokhamaya, who they were from the untouchable communities, and every day they are experiencing the injustice which has been done to them, and this injustice has been explained, has been narrated into the Abhangas. They were really supported by their families to achieve the salvation through nothing but just devotion. She has written numerous verses, out of which only 62 are known presently. In her Abhangas, she exhibited displeasure to God for all ill treatment that untouchable communities are experiencing every day and making their life miserable. She addressed herself as Chokha's Mahari. That is, I'm Chokha's Mahari, and she expresses everywhere that she is not at all keeping close, or she is disclosing her caste. The main theme in her Abhangas are always the plight of untouchables. We can just see. अवघा रंग एक झाला, where she explains otherness of others. And there is a oneness is there. अवघा रंग एक झाला, रंगी रंगला श्रीरंग, मी तू पण गेले वाया, पाहता पंढरीच्या राया. नाही भेदाचे काम, पळोनी गेले क्रोध काम, देही असोनी विदेही, सदा समाधीस्थ पायी, पाहते पाहणे गेले दुरी, म्हणे चोखियाची मारी. All the colors have merged into be one. That we have become together. There might be the colors of caste, religion, gender. We are together. God of colors himself is colored in this one color. There is no distinction even between I and you, which has been eliminated just by looking at that Lord Pandhari. There is no place for any kind of discrimination. Anger and lust to have despair disappeared. Though you are embodied, you are formless. I see you in constant state of meditation. There remains no difference between the spectator and the gaze, says Chokha's Mahari. In her Abhanga, to the misery of daily life and restriction to which they were subjected as belonging to the Mahar caste, through her Abhangas, she raised her voice that what kind of injustice is taking place. And this is nothing but they try to transcend their material reality and achieve the spiritual one. The next comes the Santa Kanhopatra. She is a daughter of a prostitute. So you can see that everyone is inclusive in this. Her Abhangas frequently portrays her struggle between her profession and her devotion to Lord Vithala, the patron deity of the Varkaris. She presents herself as the woman deeply devoted to Vithoba and pleads for him to save her from this unbearable bondage of her profession. See, she speaks of her humiliation and her banishment from society owing to her profession and social stature. She expresses disgust for the society, which adore her as an object of beauty rather than as a human being. She abhorred her profession. She described how she has been the object of lust, of full thoughts. In the Abhangas, Patita tu Pavana, she acknowledges her Lord as a savior. She says that, O Narayana, you call yourself savior of the fallen. My caste is impure. I lack loving faith. My nature and actions are vile. Fallen Kanhopatra offers herself to your feet, a challenge to your claim to mercy. Santa Kanhopatra is the only woman saint whose samadhi is within the precedence of the temple. It is within the temple of Pandharpura. She is the only female Varkari saint who has attained the saintlyhood solely without initiation by any guru on her own, any male. So you can see, even though the Varkari Santa Parampara, it is not that you need to get initiated only by the male. So patriarchy is also not there. You can see this is the image, the temple of Santa Kanhopatra into the main temple of Pandharpur. This is the indication of throwing out the order of all things. So it is the Varkari Sampradaya is there are no barriers, there are no obstacles. It is a borderless world, you can say that. It is a world of coexistence, it is a world of a cooperation where we need to grow together and progress together. According to Deshpande, Kanopatra's poetry reflects the awakening of the downtrodden and the rise of the female creative expression, ignited by the sense of gender equality enforced by the Varkar tradition. The next among the female Varkari is Santa Janabai, who often speaks of the restrictions, even with the regards to worship, that her status as servant or dasi imposed on her. She has been sold out to Santa Namdeva's house as a dasi, and of the heavy, never ending household work that fell to her lot. The hardship of her being a woman and a burden of domestic labor are ever present in her writings. She says, let me not be sad because I am born a woman. in this world. Many saints suffer in the way. त्रिजन्मा म्हणोनी ना व्हावे उदास साधू संता ऐसे केले जी. The Abhangas of Sant Janabai constantly throw the light on the women's labor into the domestic chores. And the way it has been this heavy work and the restrictions which has been imposed on women every day. So being a women poet of Bhakti movement and Varkari Sampradaya, she did not seek the institutionalized spare religion provided to express herself, and she tried to move the women's poetry from the court and the temple to the open spaces of the fields, the workplace, and the common women's heart. No doubt, theories and doctrines which had a metaphysical approach dissolve the distinction between the male and female, where Shiva and Shakti become one. But in practical terms, in the medieval era, she tried to bring this change. This paradigm shift is there. She found freedom and power in her life only through bhakti. In one of her abhangas, she says that Vithopa becomes not only a woman, but a serving woman, a dasi, the lowest within the lowest caste. You can see in this picture where Vithoba is helping out the Janabai. Jani has had enough of samsara, but how will I repay my debt? You leave your greatness behind you to grind and pound with me, O Lord. You become a woman, washing me and my soiled clothes. Proudly you carry the water and gather dung with your own two hands. O Lord, I want place at your feet, says Jani, Namadeva's Dasi. In this contemporary world, we are constantly coming across the problems and challenges which are becoming increasingly more interdependent and interconnected. So the sheer magnitude of this requires all of us to work together, because the global efforts towards peace and reconciliation can only succeed with a collective approach built on a trust, dialogue, and collaboration. For that, we have to build a grand alliance for a culture of peace amongst all, particularly with the proactive involvement and participation of the common man. In today's world, a culture of peace should be seen as the essence of new humanitarian religion. A new global civilization should be based on inner oneness and outer diversity. Philosophy of Varkari and poets and poetess is a lighthouse which will guide the society where we constantly come across the conflict between the caste and gender, religion and race to establish peace and harmony. That can be a real, that can be bridged, can be maintained. The Abhangas of Varkari Center has the echoes of Martin Buber's I and Thou, where love is the responsibility of an I for you. And this consists what cannot consist in feelings, the equality of all lovers. I require thou to become I. If you are not there, I am not there. If Varkari is not there, Sant is not there. A human being becomes whole, not in virtue of a relation to himself only, rather in the virtue of an authentic relation to others, which is inclusive of the whole community, irrespective of the caste, gender, religion, race. With the above context, it is necessary to mention the philosophy of Gabriel Marcel, who is a mystic. His philosophy is in consonant with the philosophy of Varkaris. For him, individuals are a part of the community, related to each other by faith. In community, we feeling is very important, and this feeling comes from the medium of faith, and we see the faith the Varkari Sampradaya has in the sense philosophy. This we feeling is very important to tie the people together. There will be real inclusion with this feeling is possible despite of any caste or religion. So we need to inclusive in this. So philosophy of Varkari emphasizes this ontological value where humans are valued just because they are humans. We have seen whether it is Sautamali, whether it is a Chokha Mela, whether it is Sheikh Muhammad, they are human, therefore uh, they have been respected, and not because of their status or the position in their society. So we need to follow that. Once ontological value is lost, there is a loss of sense of humanitarianism in life. So if we want to establish the real humanitarian religion, then we need to imbibe the values which has been mentioned by this Varkari Sampradaya. Having a dialogue with someone in is a participation with someone, and therefore we need to have a dialogue. We should not be in conflict. We need to sit together and find out. We need to be together for that. If there is a conflict, there will be no dialogue. So the we need to participate. So they participate with each other when they come together for singing the abhangas and carrying out dindis or palkis, which goes to Pandharpur during Ashadi and Kartik Ekadashi, which are major ones. But entire year, 4 times they go to the Pandharpur. They also prostrate to each other, irrespective of caste, gender, and religion. Very nicely, that Tukaram Abhanga says that Khela Mandi Ela Valavanti Khai. Valavanta, that is the desert of Chandrabhaga. Natsati Vaishnav Bhai Re. Krodha, there that Vaishnavas are dancing. Krodha Abhimana Gela Pavatani. Eka Eka Lagati La Paire. There is no anger, there is no ego. We are prostrating to each other. गोपीचंदन ओटी तुळशीच्या माळा हार मिरवती गळा टाळ मृदुंग घाई पुष्प वर्षाव अनुपम्य सुख सोहळा. There is a gopi chandan uti is there, and tulsi, that is the basil leaves, basil plants, mala is there. Varna abhimana visarale yati eka eka lotangane jati. There is no varna, there is no caste, there is no community. They are just लोटांगण, that is they are doing, they are prostrating each other. निर्मळ चित्ते झाली नवनीते पाषाणा पाझर सुटती रे. There are no clash, no conflict, no disgrace, nothing is there, no anger, no hatred when all the Varkaris are together. So we need to. होतो जय जयकार गर्जत अंबर मातले हे वैष्णव वीर रे तुका म्हणे सोपी केली पाय वाट उतराया भवसागर रे. So to cross the sansara, it is so easy that we need to accept each other, respect each other, accept the otherness of other, which is very important. Therefore, when Sant Naneshwar said that Je Je Bhute Bete Bhete Bhuta Te Te Mani Je Bhagwanta, whoever come across to you, that is Bhagwanta only. So this sight of love is very important. This sight of acceptance is very important. So our understanding of peace should include this level of relationship, because beginning with personal peace and expanding it to the wider circle that we experience into Varkari Sampradaya. Because when we speak about global peace, intergroup or social peace or interpersonal peace, personal peace, which will be helpful for self-respect, respect for other persons, justice, cooperation, respect for other groups within the nation and other nation, or within the one group, one community and other communities. This is a simple, sustainable lifestyle. It does not demand anything. It's just demand a pure heart. The sense of oneness of their teaching is not limited to mankind, but it is wide enough to embrace the whole sentient and non-sentient world as its evidences by the word we use, being instead of man, in their abhangas, which has been presented by all, not only by Santa Tukaram, but by all the abhangas. This is a universal prayer which has been given by Sant Naneshwara, because here it is the blend of philosophy, bhakti, and moral teachings, moral conduct, where personal becomes social, and social becomes personal. This the philosophy of Varkari Saint plays an integral and important role in individual lives. and in the nation's development, where we remind Sant Naneshwar in his prayer, universal prayer, which is called as a Vishwa Gita. आता विश्वात्मके देवे येणे वाग्यज्ञ तोषावे तोषोनी मज द्यावे पसाय दान हे जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मे रती वाढो भूता परस्परे जडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जाओ विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्य पाओ जो जे वांछिल तो ते लाहो प्राणी जात वर्षक सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदी आळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेटतो या भूता May the darkness of the ignorance despair. May the universe see the sun of self consciousness. May whatever aspiration of those be get fulfilled of all living things. This universal prayer resounds across all the countries. There is an aspiration for the truth in all and desire for eternal happiness, peace, and harmony should dwell everywhere. By realizing the oneness, that is the union, the Varkari mystic saints are the best men of the society to bring about the religion of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. There are no stratas and Sarva Dharma Sambhava, respect for all. They are the one who bring a permanent spiritual realm in the domain of the temporal world. In this attempt, they quietly suffer all hurdles and hardship. Varkari saint, I conclude now, Varkari saint philosophers not only preach the virtues of service, sacrifice, generosity, equality, and fraternity, thereby service of humanity, but practice also. Bole taisa chale tachi vandavi pavale. They are not just the preacher, but they have practiced it. We must actively engage in this inclusive discussion and practice to understand and address the needs of members of diverse religious background by not only making space for them but by openly confronting the inequalities that led to their social exclusion. The teachings of Varkari saint echoes the preamble of UNESCO, which state that since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defense of peace must be constructed. And to construct this peace, Varkari philosophy is important. It is a culture of peace, a set of values, attitude, traditions, modes of behaviors, and ways of life that reflects and inspires each one who is either member or even not the member of this tradition. Will really help to open up the dialogue between the two or more different faiths of religion, culture, race, and gender, and so on. So let's come together to establish the world on the principle and values of love and compassion by accepting and respecting the otherness of others. These are my references. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you. Thank you so much, madam, for your very nice lecture. Well, you took a number of Varkari saints to show the point, to see the current of social inclusiveness, wherein you have tried to take in Hinduism to see how caste discriminations were affecting people and how Varkari saints worked to get away from the caste discriminations and tried to bring about unity among them. And the bhaktis and Varkari saints, essentially, as you could see, they are bhakti saints. Okay, during the medieval period of India, where there was a lot of tussle between religions, especially Islam and Hinduism, and these are the people who kept the people together, and that saved the people during that time. Not that these Varkari saints were from the Hindu fold. There, as you referred, you made a reference to Sheikh Muhammad and others who were from the Islamic fold, and still they took Pandharpur as a center. Pandharpur is a center for social, cultural, and religious unity and fought for bringing the people together. So, this element that we could see a sort of religious unity that worked so well that we could see India progressing further and further, and this current could save India from a disaster. So, these are the people who really work for bringing a unity among various people of various say caste creeds and there was no barrier, so that is the point where everybody got united to one thread. So a beautiful lecture it is, and one point really made me feel good. As they say, personal becomes social, and the social becomes personal. I take this something like this: personal good becomes the social good, and the problems in the society become my problems, so that I make an endeavor to solve them for the social good. So with this, I thank Dr. Puradkar for a very beautiful lecture. We have with us Dr. Ranjit Ghosh sir. Sir, namaskar, sir. Please, your thoughts, your ideas, and your comments, sir. Welcome, sir. Please, Dr. Ghosh.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. Rina ji has given very nice exposition of Varkari Sampradaya and associated with Bhakti or Vaishnavite Hinduism. So one thing that comes into my mind is this, and she will clarify on this issue. Probably the answer is there in the interpretation of Gita by Sant Ganeshwar in his Gyaneshwari. That bhakti, why he opted bhakti? Because bhakti, along there is another thing also, jnana, and jnana is exclusive, whereas bhakti is inclusive. So, in order to propagate such a philosophy, which is very much humanitarian in nature, and are they trying to make jnana subordinate to bhakti? Because this is one thing, and another thing, since they are also the followers of, they are followers of Bhital or Bhitova, the Sri Krishna, a form of Sri Krishna. So ultimately the same thing comes, that they want to bring a type of social harmony by bringing all different castes into one forum, and that is what they are trying to achieve in the as a social reality. But are they not forgetting the basic teaching of Gita, where Gita suggests that chaturvarnaya maya sushtam guna karma vibhagasya? So these things are whether that is actually keeping a pace with this version of Gyaneshwari and also Tukaram Gatha. So, since I have not gone through these two things, so will you please clarify whether bhakti is at the highest pedestal for them? Because at a later occasion, we find that in Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak from the same land, he is trying to give us emphasis on both Jnana and Bhakti. So that is why he says that his Karma Yoga is Jnana Bhakti Samanyita Karma Yoga. So Bhakti alone, whether it will be sufficient for the purpose of human mind. So will you please explain? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a elaborate question that you have raised in my presentation. First and foremost, I will say that Sant Jnaneshwara, the commentary he has written on Bhagavad Gita is Jnaneshwari. That too in the language of the common masses, that they need to understand, because earlier, as Bhagavad Gita is in Sanskrit, it is not possible to understood by the common mass, because the language of the common mass is not a Sanskrit. So let them understand what Vedas speaks about or Upanishad speaks about, because Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a Gitoposhanal. So naturally in that, when Naneshwar has brought this into the Marathi language, that is the Prakrit language, it was, people understood that yes, this Jnana Marga is there. But prior to that, common masses are not aware because they are excluded. Because as I said, because of the division of the labor is there, that the Chaturvarna system which is there, therefore people are divided, and to bring the marginalized people onto the mainstream, naturally only one thing is possible, that is the bhakti. Because I am a common man, I am a farmer, I do not understand what jnana marga is there. I understand what bhakti marga is there. where I'm doing my putting my, as I said, yoga karmashu kausalam. That is, I'm putting my efforts. I'm doing my regular work. My karma is going on, but I'm excluded in the society to bring them into the mainstream. Sant Naneshwar, whether it is Sant Naneshwar or Tukaram or Namdev or the Sant belonging to the different caste and communities, they brought people together with the bhakti. Therefore, Naneshwara says that in Naneshwari that there are four purusharthas are there, but highest purushartha is bhakti. Without bhakti, nothing is possible. And they have proved it that we can bring the masses together with the bhakti. And we can teach them, we can show them the right path. Therefore, I mentioned that the Varkari Santas are the lighthouse. They are the lighthouse. They have shown the right path to the masses. Because till before the Varkari Sampradaya emerged, there are other Datta Sampradaya or Manubhav Sampradaya was also there. But the way Varkari, because you must have sir, visited many temples, because Pandharpur is the only temple where Bhakta can touch the deity. You can put your head onto the I can just the I really I can the way that I just the murti is front of me right now when I say that. So this is the only temple where you can touch the god. There is no other temple in India where you can go and touch. So there is no criteria is there. You whether you are a whether you are belonging to Brahmin, whether you are Kshatriya, whether you are belong to any caste or any religion. Therefore, I said that Sant Sheikh Muhammad, that morning he used to sit in mosque for prayer. Evening he used to sit into the into the Vithoba's temple, and his temple, that dargah itself is known as a mandira. I have shown that image. It is shown as a mandira. So it is like inclusive of all. That I do not, and only it is possible in bhakti with, because when Naneshwara has commented on Bhagavad Gita as a Bhavartha Deepika, he said that this is something missing, and Krishna also speaks about bhakti. Jnana yoga is there, but bhakti is very important in this. Therefore, I feel this is the only sampradaya which brought the people together, because it was a time when the marginalized groups, those who are excluded from the mainstream, this is the only one. So all Santa did, and they have done the Vari to the entire, I can say that rather than Vari, the Brahman in entire India. That is there, because one story goes with the life of the Santa Naneshwara. He was a Brahmin by birth, but his father was sannyasi, and then his guru said that you once again go to your Grihastha ashrama, and then he had these four children. So people of Maharashtra were not accepting them, even though they are Brahmins, so they are also excluded. It's not like that they are included. So once in they said that you need that Shuddhi Patra, you need the letter of purity, and that you will get in the Python, because Python is considered as a Kashi at that moment. So once he was saying, you will not get it because your father and mother did this. Now it is not possible, and as a result of it, both of them committed suicide, because they said whatever I did, it is on the order of my guru. I did it. And he further said that people were literally teasing them in such a manner that this is a this is a living being. This is a he. Buffalo is there. If you say that God is everywhere, everyone knows Vedas, it is possible. Then he made that buffalo to recite the Vedic verses. So this shows that if bhakti is there, everything is possible. If bhakti is excluded, nothing is possible. I hope, sir, I have explained it.
Thank you, madam. That's why Gyaneshwar, as far as I remember, he makes love as the basis of everything. Jyot se jyot jagate chalo, prem ki ganga bahate chalo.
Yes.
This is the thing we have heard from our childhood. This thing. So thank you for your exposition.
Sir, one
So
minute. Sir, I just want to add one thing in this. He says that we want a natural bhakti. We don't want an artificial
yeah,
bhakti.
yeah.
Therefore, he used the word the naisargika and krutrim.
That we should come from oneself
Yeah,
inside. No
inside.
ritual, no priest. That I
Mm,
understand. So that is what he is preaching. So all right. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ranjit Ghosh, for a beautiful question and very good response from Dr. Rina Puradkar. One thing comes to my mind here, what Dr. Ghosh has pointed out. Well, Jnana has a exclusiveness, a sort of exclusiveness, a sort of exclusiveness, and Bhakti has more of an inclusive factor. And the point is, Jnana, when we take recourse to Jnana Marga, it reflects more of a theoretical state. It has carries a lot of theoretical state, and it is very difficult to go on that path. But when we come to bhakti, it has essentially a practical state. You see, a knowledge that you carry, if you don't practice it, it's no knowledge. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we say if you have a knowledge but we don't live as per the knowledge, that knowledge makes no sense. So similarly, but when we talk of bhakti, it is always on the practical side, and it is more easy for the people to connect, and it is very difficult for the people to connect through the theoretical side in through the jnana marga. But why this bhakti saints took this bhakti marga? Because it is more on the practical side, and it is very easy on their part to connect people, because what the knowledge that they carried, the saints carried, that they expressed the love, the element of love, that could be expressed, that could be a binding factor, okay, among the masses, and that bhakti marga becomes so successful in comparison to the jnana marga, which is on the more of a theoretical side, and it is very difficult to connect people with this, and that's why I think the Varkari saints taking recourse to bhakti could be more successful. Okay, thank you so much. And maybe this is how I could understand to the point raised by Dr. Ghosh. Well, we have Srinivasa Krishnamurthy sir. He wants to say something, then we'll go to our admin. Srinivasa sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Rina, for your excellent presentation. And it was really pretty good that you stuck to the point of social inclusiveness through Varkari Sampradaya, and you did not deviate from that. Though there are, other important aspects, but since you were speaking only about social inclusiveness, and I cannot expect all those things, but still, you, madam, do you know how to sing abang?
Little bit, sir.
A little bit, okay.
Yeah.
The abang
My voice is not
was.
so good, but I can sing.
Why don't you line or two?
Okay, sir. Surely, surely.
Todaya Mangalam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just give me the 1 minute. I will. कानडा राजा पंढरीचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा वेदा नाही नाही कळला वेदा नाही नाही कळला अंत पार याचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा आनाम्याची खीर चाखतो आनाम्याची खीर चाखतो तो खोबांची गुरे राखतो तो खोबांची गुरे राखतो पुरंदराचा हा परमात्मा पुरंदराचा हा परमात्मा नाही कळला कळला वेदांना कानडा राजा पंढरीचा कानडा राजा पंढरीचा.
Oh, thank you very much for your excellent singing, and kindly refer YouTube for more other songs by Udayanu Kalyana Raman Ji. Excellent.
Okay.
And the point is, there are four marks. One is the Karma Yoga, who is doing the selfless service.
Mhm.
Only he can attain the Bhakti Marg, from where you develop that the social inclusiveness called the togetherness and social harmony. From there, the collectiveness is there. From there, if you are controlling the mind, you go to the Dhyana Marg, which is not exclusiveness. It is also included as one of the steps in the mark of getting emancipation. And finally, from there you go to Raja Yoga, where you get liberated finally. This is the ladder in which one can, attain the moksha. This is what my understanding goes. But I've also listened to the Saint Jnaneshwara's workshop in Mumbai University some couple of years back, when Professor Dr. Ramana was, organizing the same. I attended the workshop, and it was really wonderful to listen to the beautiful saint about the Amrita Anubhava as well as the Varkari Sampradaya. Those were wonderful lectures. I still, keep it green in my memory, and I thank you very much for this. And though there are a lot of inside stories about the Varkari Sampradaya, I am not going to deal with that because no, these are all confusing. In Maharashtra, this is about the Vithoba, Bhakti Marg, and if you go to Kerala, this is Ayyappa Bhakti Marg, and if you come to Tamil Nadu, it's about Muruga Bhakti Marg in Palanimalai, and then in Andhra, if you go there, it is Tirupati. So everything is only emphasizing about the togetherness and social inclusiveness. Thank you for highlighting the same. And once again, I really appreciate your very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As you mentioned, sir, the workshop that is on philosophy of Nyandev, which has been conducted by the Gita Ramanna madam. I also presented there a paper. Basically, it was on the Jnaneshwari I presented, and really, you can say that bhakti, as it is, so it is everywhere. Bhakti is everywhere. I think bhakti is the root of India. If you remove bhakti from India, India will not be there. And the way we are bound together to each other, I think only because of the bhakti. Whether if when we go to the Bengal, it is Chaitanya. If we when we come to Orissa, uh, it is just Jagannath. You can say that everywhere. When you go to the Uttar Pradesh, that there is a Lalla is there, Krishna. So everywhere you will find each part of India is bound only with bhakti. Because it is a very easy to be with it. I can't say that it is totally possible that we can be into it, but totally devoted is also not possible for the common man. But I can leave my problems aside and I be with, and then I learn good thing and I can practice it in my daily life. It is possible only with bhakti. Where
I am really happy that you also attended that Amritanubhava
yeah,
workshop during the year. I think probably I would have to, collect all the photos and then remember about you. I have forgotten. I am at the age of 78 now. Anyway,
yes, yes,
thank you.
yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Krishnamurthy sir and Dr. Puradkar. Well, let us move to our admin, Professor Pramod Kumar Das, for his observations, comments, and his own views. Okay, over to Dr. Das.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, audible, audible.
Very nice talk and a very nice discussion.
Voice getting low.
Okay, now is it clear?
All right, all right, all right.
Very nice talk and very nice discussion. When we are discussing about Jnana, Karma and Bhakti, naturally we give priority to Bhakti because it is common to all human sentiments. Knowledge divides us actually, because knowledge is perspective. We may be convinced
Sir,
from.
something wrong with the mic, sir. Not that clear. A buzzing
Hello,
sound. Huh, huh.
Yes, sir, not clear.
Now all
hello.
right. Now all right. Huh.
When we are discussing about Jnana, Karma and Bhakti, we are giving importance to or priority to Bhakti because it is common to human sentiment. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Hmm. Knowledge actually divides us. We may be convinced from different perspectives. Therefore, there are different types of philosophy, different types of religions. Different religions can be explained from different conceptions. So conception varies from mind to mind. So there we cannot unite people together. We cannot sit together because our convictions are different. So through knowledge, uh, we cannot get unification. Knowledge divides us because the highest knowledge is not attainable so easily. What is called emancipation or moksha or liberation or freedom, that is the highest state. But in the initial stage, we are bound by the logical dialectics. We are bound by the differences, and we are contradicted to each other. So this is the position of our knowledge. And action follows knowledge. Karma kanda follows knowledge. As we are convinced, so we practice our karma process. So we follow the rituals. The ritual of a religion depends upon the conception of that religion. As the conception, so is the ritual. Therefore, the rituals are also different. So karmas are different, but it is only bhakti which is common to all religions. There is no difference in bhakti. Lower bhakti, higher bhakti, Hindu bhakti, Islam bhakti, Christian bhakti, Indian bhakti, Pakistan bhakti, American bhakti. Bhakti is bhakti. Love is love. Love has no denomination. Whereas there are degrees of knowledge, that there are different opinions in the knowledge, different views in knowledge, different philosophies, different mindsets, and accordingly karmas are also different. Okay. The karma of a theist is different from the karma of an atheist. The karma kanda for a particular religion is different from another religion, depending on the conception, that is knowledge. But the bhakti is common to all religions. This is the contribution of Varkari saints, and by that, that religion becomes the religion of religions, because it gives us the conception of one earth, one family, Vasundhava Kutumbakam, live and let live. This ethics comes out of this philosophy. Very nice, but I don't understand one thing. Uh,
Yes, sir.
you did not say anything about mysticism. Your title is the.
Yes, sir. Mystics, I want to say
Yes,
that.
then that is one. Second question is, even if we are talking about the religion of all religions, and we try to bring all religions to one fold, one group. Again, is it not a sectarian religion? Again, is it not a bracket when we call it Varkari saints or Varkari religion? Uh,
Okay.
here I fail to understand. One is what is mysticism in
Okay, sir.
it, and number two is by uniting all religions in the name of a Varkari. Again, are we not bracketed by one group? Thank you.
Sir, here when we speak about the mysticism, uh, really we want to that mysticism. I just say that here, in this case, basically when the Varkaris we are talking it about here, we need to understand why they are called mystics, because mystics are one that is here. Their religion is basically, you can say that there is no religion as such. It is a beyond anything. There is something mystery is there, and here mystery is that people are in search of Lord Vithala. That is the mystery. They are in search of this. Therefore, this we are not. I am not totally saying that the way the mystic in the manner. the way the definition it is available as per the Christian terminology. I am saying the mysticism here, that is, it is the flash of lightning which is taking place to them, and the devotees become totally devoted to Lord Vithala. That the realization is there from that ecstasy which we come across here. Here it is the criteria which R.D. Ranade speaks about it. The bhakti criteria of the mystics, that they are the mystics. For mystics, everyone is equal. For mystics, there is no religion. So if there is here, Vithala itself is the god of everyone. It's not a Hindu god, it's not a Muslim god, it is not the god of Christian, it is a god of everyone. So there is not a sectarianism is there. There are no rituals. Anyone can enter into the temple belonging to any caste, creed, gender, or religion. That therefore, here when we are talking about mysticism, here this concept of mysticism which I have taken, that all are coming together here, and the masses which are there, we are talking that masses have no religion over here, that masses has the only religion of the love, or the religion of bhakti, that is above everything. So criteria is not made in this case, and when criteria is not there, naturally it goes beyond your thought process. It is something which you need to experience, where all will be coming together, you can say that. And this, there is a mystical experiences is there, and this mystical experiences is experienced by each and everyone. Am I audible? Hello. So this mystical experiences is there, and this mystical experiences, if we try to categorize the people, naturally problem will be there, and therefore categorization is not there. And in that categorization, I have called them mystics.
in one sentence, do you mean to say that through jnana, karma, or bhakti, or simply by bhakti, we are in the pursuit of something. We are in the pursuit of something which is beyond our reach.
Yeah,
Mysticism is that,
yeah.
because bhakti is the medium. But we are through bhakti, we are in the search of, we are in the pursuit of something which is
Hmm.
beyond our intellect, which is beyond our reach.
Hmm.
So therefore it is mystic. Therefore it is mysticism.
Yeah, it is a
So yes, yes,
metamorphosis.
yes, yes. My question was, second question was, when we take the name of a Varkari, is it not a bracket? Is it not a because we are talking about one earth, one family, we are talking about one religion, one emotion, one love, one bhakti. Then is it not again we create a bracket that
Okay.
this is one sector, sector is it not becoming a sectarian religion?
Okay, sir. Sir, here the word Varkari has come from the word Vari. Vari means annual pilgrimage to one place. So here
Uh,
that
uh,
one, yeah.
just a minute.
Hmm.
I just want to raise the same issue what Professor Pramod Das said. Now, you see, some of the Muslim saints, they try to join the Varkari sect. But do you have any record of some Christians also entering into this Varkari sect? This is one thing.
Okay.
Because, you see, you are making Vital or Vitova the symbol of unity of all religions. Okay,
Okay.
so and that Vital we understand through bhakti. So bhakti is the basis, and one the idol is there, that is Vital, and so automatically it negates the prayer of multi idols of Hinduism. So it is a special type of Hinduism, Bharkari sect.
Okay.
So do you suggest that?
Okay,
Thank you.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you for your question. Yes, I will answer both the question right now over here, sir. As you said, Das sir stated that it has becoming a sectarian religion. But sir, as I said, it is not at all a sectarian because there are no rituals as such. There are no, if the ritual, if ritualism will come, then sectarian religion will come. It is anyone can, and it has been recorded by the UNESCO that people from all over the world are coming for this Wari, which is the main two Waris, Ashadi and Kartiki. That is the Devshani Ekadashi and Prabodhini Ekadashi. People from various parts of the world they are coming. They are from Japan, they are from China, they are from USA, and they are not NRIs. They are not NRIs, that it has been mentioned. So every year, the lakhs of people are coming to for this Wari. That is there. Then, as you said, sir, Pramod Kumar, Ranjit sir, you said that is there any record of the Christian saint is there? Christian saint record is not there, but there is one father who stays in Mumbai, and he has done his entire research work on Pandharpur, Vithala, and he is totally devoted to it. It is there. They are also, there are people, those who are, it's not like it is a one part of the Hindus, as you stated, it's not one part of the Hindu. It is just the people have come together, they have joined together, and it has become it. Like you can say that the Varkaris, those who are coming to the temple of Vithala, first, as I said, you have to go to the at a Namdevachi Pairi. That is the first step of Namdeva, which is there. Then the Santa Chokoba's temple is there in front. You have to first visit that. Then only you have to enter into the temple. So it is once again. It is, we are really we are bracketing out all this sectarianism. There is no rituals, nothing. Only bhava is required, bhava of bhakti, that is total emotion. So whichever person belongs to a Christian community or person belong to the Muslim community, if that bhav is not there, it is not required. It will not be there. As I said, the one reference which I gave, that in between the Santa Sheikh Muhammad Maharaj Palki was not going to Pandharpur because of certain reasons. But now everyday people are seeing to it, and its Dargah is named as Mandir only. And it's like the village deity he has become. So where the sectarianism comes, there is no sectarianism. Because if there will be any rituals, then sectarianism will come. It is not at all. It is very dogmatic. In fact, the priest, so-called priest, which we called, that they belong to the Brahmin community, but in the temple of Pandharpur, the government appoints, they take their exams, they on the basis of their exam, the priest has been appointed. And for the Vithala uh, in temple, Rakhmai Mandir is also there. The wife, that is the Lakshmi of Vishnu, it has been, the priest is the women priest. The women, they are rejected being a priest, but women are also there in the temple. And through proper, they are on the salaried people. Earlier, it was the Brahmin community was showing. Then government intervened and they said it is not, because this is a temple which is the symbol of, or the epitome of the unity, and we want to maintain that. That is there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Puradkar.
For your information.
One thing that comes to picture here, well, Dr. Ghosh has really pointed a very good question, and the point is, when we talk of the Varkari saints were really the Bhakti saints, and much central to this Bhakti movement was bringing unity among the Hindus and also bring a unity among Hindus and Muslims. That was the primacy. And the good thing that Dr. Ghosh raised is because Christians were also, they had an entry maybe during the later part, well, 15th, 16th century, well, the foreigners, the Christians, they made an entry. And love is central to the teachings in Christianity. So we can bring Christianity at a later period, but that was I don't think that was a part among the Varkari effort. I don't see, because the entry of the Christians, or it's the later development. Well, we can bring in, but we can taking the question from Dr. Ghosh, we can bring in how far the Buddhist saints, the people from the Buddhist community, the Jaina community who are already there, how could this Varkari saints influence the people bringing from the Buddhist fold or the Jaina fold to a common platform? Because Christianity a later entry. Well, but still we can accommodate Christianity, because the central element in Christianity was the element of love. So that is what is even contained in the Bhakti tradition. So
Dr.
I
Rao,
really love the question of Dr. Ghosh, because this is how we can relate things. I really
uh,
thank you. I'm really
doc-
thankful to Dr. Ghosh. Well, Dr.
Dr. Rao, Dr.
Sir, can
Rao,
I just answer one as what Om Narayan Rao sir and the Ghosh Ranjit sir, you have raised a question here. Very important one verse is there in Naneshwari, where Santa Naneshwar says that ह्या हृदयीचे त्या हृदयी घातले. That is the mysticism here. That is that connection between the absolute and the finite, where I am testing the being a finite. I test that the sugar of bhakti, and I want to be that bhakta only. I do not want to become a god here. That is there. And as Om Narayan Rao sir also stated that yes sir, there are references that people from the Jainism, Buddhism, they are also the part of it, but their major as a scent we have not coming across it. But they are Varkaris, they are Varkaris, but they are not the scent that the contribution which they have made it.
Dr.
Thank you, madam. Well, Professor Das, you wanted to say something. Professor Das.
Yes. Ranjit sir asked the
We
question.
have to accept that this is a type of social group rather
Yeah.
than a religious group. Because it wants to bring a cohesion in the society, a social inclusiveness. So it should be more treated as a social group rather than a religious sect or religious group.
Yes.
Do you admit that?
It is a religious group is not, I can say that, because people are coming together, but
Yeah.
it is on the name of Lord Vithala they are coming together. That a God who does not want any kind of restrictions, who does not want any kind of a distinction, that we can say here. So here some center is there, some attraction is there, that yes, every year we will go here, and by looking at only that image, everything is there. Like it happens like in Ashadi and Kartiki Wari, where lakhs of people are entering into the Pandharpur. They cannot even get the darshana of Lord Vittala. They just see the tomb of the temple, the shikara of the mandira, and they leave. That is there. So it is not like, as you said, it is a social religion, you can say that, a religion of the people, the democratic religion, where all are together.
Thank you, Dr. Rina Puradkar. Well, Professor Das.
Yes, when Ranjit sir asked the question whether there is any record of Christians entry to the Varkari religion, uh, actually, here the point is uh, all religious people can get an entry to it, because there is no restriction for any religion. Christians can join, and all other religious people also can join. Because therefore I told, and my madam also told, it is love that is common to every human sentiment. And very rightly Ranjit sir said that it is more social than religious. Because here we are talking about social harmony without any difference. Every religious people can participate in it. Is it, madam?
Yes, because I can say that here through the Manana Chintana Nididhyasa, which when we can say that is the your real contemplation. We can achieve the real knowledge, that the reality that we are one. That is there. That one means we all are one. That we are the part and parcel. We are the children of that. Or you can rather than say where in Santa Tukaram says that Hechi dana dega deva tuja visara navava. I want only one gift. that I should always remember you. I don't want anything in my life. That kind of chintana, that kind of bhakti is mysticism. I can say that, and therefore it is that there are no religion.
You have already mentioned about that in the last line of your lecture. We should all inculcate that habit of knowing the otherness of others. So, if we can understand that otherness of others, that will be the true type of belief that we can have, and that is the doorway to the mystical thinking, mysticism. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, this is a we feeling. I can say that otherness of other is a we feeling of Gabriel Marcel. That we say, that we find. That is the sources there. I get complete with thou. My existence is not there if you are not there.
Very nice, very nice. Dr. Rao.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you, Dr. Ghosh, Dr. Puradkar, Dr. Professor Das. Well, what I could see is here a transition from I to we. Okay, so that is where we are all included. The I is lost in we. So there is no other because I am the other, I am the self. I see the other, I become the other. So there is, that's how I can feel the otherness in the other in having a transition from I to we. Okay, so very nicely said. Very nice point, Professor Dr. Das and Rose and yourself pointed out. And one thing that that comes from Dr. Professor Das' second question, when he was asking why again the framing Varkari saints. Okay, again, is it not divisive? Okay, you're talking of unity and you're saying naming something as Varkari saints. Well, what could get from Dr. Puradkar is Varkari saints, they are the saints on pilgrimage to Pandharpur. In during the course of the pilgrimage, they are putting the people from various folds, various communities, various castes together, and that is their purpose. Going on a pilgrimage, bringing unity among the, meeting the people, bringing a unity among the people, and saying that I am moving to Pandharpur. If you can follow me, just follow me. So this is how they are trying to bring a unity among all. So this is the thing that I wanted to say. And Varkari saints, it's a saints on pilgrimage to Pandharpur, bringing unity. So that's how I see from the entire talk and the discussion that followed. It was really wonderful. Well, we don't have our coordinator today, so I request Professor Das to propose a vote of thanks. I should not say, but let us see Professor Das thanking everybody and our admin, and we'll be loving it to have the vote of thanks from Professor Das. Professor
Really,
Das.
really, I am grateful, and we are all grateful to Madam for having with us and for delivering a beautiful talk. And we like her expression, we like her confidence, we like her love, we like her commitment for this academic pursuit. That really matters. Actually, knowledge is infinite. It will not end overnight. It is a continuous process. But the way you present it, the way you participate in it, the way you have that bearance, tolerance, and you have that patience to listen to others, elder teachers who have a lot of experience like Ranjit Ghosh sir, and he always asks very beautiful questions, and his interaction is very nice, very attractive. We are all inspired by his benign presence. Uh, that really matters. And Srinivasanji is the one who has introduced so many speakers to this platform. So we have got so many beautiful, reputed speakers through his help, through his recommendation, through his introduction. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Ranjit sir. Thank you, Rao sir. And thank you, madam, for your interest, for your love, for wisdom. And you today delivered a very beautiful talk. And this is a new topic also. This is also a new topic. And we should come with new topics of new areas. Same thing we are discussing, karma, niskama karma, etc., etc. But this is a new topic. that that is the point about which we are all interested, and we are waiting for such lectures. So you prepare another lecture, but not on Varkari,
Okay, sir. Surely,
because
surely.
you have already delivered 2 talks. So you prepare another talk from another source field. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
Dad, sir,
Thank
for
you, madam.
giving such a opportunity, wonderful opportunity to get the knowledge from all you intellectuals. Your blessings need to be with me always.
And madam, you
Yes,
will be happy that this lecture will be uploaded in the YouTube for public view. So it is open for all. Everybody here we have 10 persons, but it is open to the crores of people, crores of viewers.
yes,
Your lecture will be heard by each and everyone in the YouTube channel.
yes.
Okay, so
Thank you, sir.
with this, we shall close here with this session. Thank you, all grateful to all of you. And Ranjit sir, we shall request you that you also select one topic for the month of August. Ranjit sir, hello, Ranjit sir.
Yes, yes.
Y-
Okay,
y-
I will tell you.
Yes, yes, yes. In the month of August or in September, as you like, as you like. Thank
Okay.
you, sir. With this, this session is declared closed. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.